Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be discussing how to recover like a pro, how to get the utmost sleep and recovery and make sure that you're able to go into the gym and be at 100% so that you can get the most amount of gains possible and train as hard as possible because you were able to recover as hard as possible. But before we get into that, my name is Noah. I am the founder of Get Her Done Fitness. I made it my mission to help all the young men get the body confidence you've always wanted. And I'm currently hosting a free video training where I'm showing you guys how to do exactly that. I'm showing you the exact copy-paste systems that I learned and used in the past few years to gain 40 pounds. And I'm gonna help you to get the best, quickest, and easiest transformation possible because I know what exactly works and what doesn't work. Because I've been through all the ups and downs. I've been lied to, I've been scammed by fitness influencers who, are just trying to make a quick buck. But I'm actually here to help you, coming from one gym bro to another. I'm here to help you to make the most amount of gains possible, gain as much muscle as possible in 12 weeks. And so if you don't want to miss out on that, go click that first link. But let's hop into this one. Today we're going to be talking about how to recover like a pro. Okay, so recovery is going to come down to a few things, all right? The very first thing is going to be making sure that there's a big enough time window in between the muscle groups that you train. And so that doesn't mean that you can't train every day, because I do train almost every day. I train 6 days a week, right? But I'm not training at every single muscle group 6 days a week or even every other day. I'm training every muscle group every other day. So every 3 days. So on Monday, I'm hitting chest and triceps. On Tuesday, I'm hitting back and shoulders and biceps. On Wednesday, I'm hitting legs, and then I'm repeating that, right? And so in doing so, I'm giving myself that 48-hour window in between every single muscle group. That's going to allow me to get the utmost recovery so I can go in and train hard enough. Because if I shorten that window, right, if I were to go in and destroy my chest one day, because that's very important too, you got to be training hard, and we all know that, and I've discussed that multiple times. Got to be training hard. So if you're going in training hard, destroy your chest, right? There's no way in hell that you're going to go in the next 24 or even 48 hours and get a solid chest workout, because you're going to go in, you're going to be sore, you're going to be hurting, you're not going to be able to get as many, you're not going to be as strong, and therefore you're going to lift less weight, and therefore you're not going to be able to progressively overload, and therefore you're not going to be able to make any gains. So you must give yourself that 48 to 72 hour window. I would say that 48 hours is kind of on the low end, right? And some people, they need closer to that 72 hours to fully recover after a really hard training session. Because me personally, I found that after 48 hours, I'm still a little bit sore, like just a little bit, to the point where I wouldn't be getting as much out of it if I just waited another 24 hours. And so that's why my split is set up the way that it is. So I would recommend that you find something similar that is going to allow you to train as hard as possible and get the most amount of recovery possible. And the second thing is going to be your sleep. Your sleep is so important. You need to be getting quality rest every single night. And there's no way of saying how much sleep everyone needs, because everyone's different. Because they used to say that everyone needs to get at least 8 hours of sleep, but it's now coming to light that some people actually need a little bit less. So some people can get away with that, as little as 5-6 hours of sleep, and still be able to function totally normally. And some people, they need as much as 9 to 10 hours of sleep. And so it's gonna largely depend on who you are. So some people, they really don't need that much sleep. Some people, they need a lot more. But regardless, so you need to make sure that you are getting enough sleep for you. And so me personally, I found that I function best off around 6-7 hours of sleep. And so I try to get that solid 6-7 hours every single night. And I have a set time that I wake up every single day. So even if it changes a little bit depending on my schedule, which I try to keep it generally in the same area that I wake up, that just means that, if it comes around to that time when I should be going to bed to get that 6-7 hours, like if I'm planning on waking up at 6 a.m. and it's midnight and I'm still not asleep, then I'm gonna pop a melatonin, okay? And the melatonin are great because they're non-addictive, they are non-habit forming, and it just allows you to get the sleep that you need and just be able to fall asleep. Because if you never had a melatonin before, basically you take it dissolves on your tongue, and then you, about 10 to 15 minutes later, you're just exhausted, boom, you're out. And so if you're not able to fall asleep, then that is a great supplement to use, but I wouldn't recommend using it every single night. Try to use it sparingly, but don't be afraid to use it though when you need to use it. Okay. And the last part of your recovery is going to be actually part of your diet, because your diet is also very important to how you recover, because keep in mind that every time you go into the gym to break down your muscles, you are then going to recover them to come back and train them and break them down again. But after you break them down, while you are recovering, what it's doing is it's rebuilding the muscle. And so while it's rebuilding the muscle, it needs the fuel to do so. One, it needs carbs and fats that it can burn and use as energy to build the muscle. And then two, it needs protein to use as the actual building blocks to build the muscle, okay? And so your diet is gonna play a big role in this, okay? And so for those of you who are bulking, which I assume that most of you that are watching this are a little bit smaller, a little bit skinnier, you're trying to pack on size, you're trying to pack on weight. Okay, so for those of you, what you're going to be looking at is going to be probably a caloric surplus and high protein. Okay, and by high protein, I would say about 1 gram per pound of body weight. And so if you weigh 150 pounds, you're going to eat 150 grams of protein at least. And then on top of that too, the rest of your diet should generally consist of fats and carbs. Okay, because fats and carbs, you are going to burn them as energy to build the muscle. But I would say that you do need a fair amount of carbs, especially if you're bulking, because if you're bulking, carbs are going to be a lot more useful because they're used quicker. And so the more carbs you have, the better it's going to be for bulking. I'm not really going to go too into depth with that because that's a whole nother video. But the point is that you want to have your high protein, your 1 gram per pound of body weight, and then make sure that you're eating enough carbs and fats to fill in the rest of your calories. And those carbs and fats are going to be the energy to fuel the recovery. And then the protein is going to be the building block so that your muscle can actually grow and recover and heal so that you can then go back and train it and break it down again. I hope you guys found this information useful. If you never want to miss a new video, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Always remember to get her done.